This is what everyday things look like up close. So as you can see here, when a human sweats, we excrete fairly evenly across our 3 million sweat glands across our body. Zooming into the skin, we can also see the moment a needle penetrates our skin. Speaking of penetration, this object you put into your mouth, so make sure it's clean. I'm talking about a toothbrush, of course. Also important to keep clean is this object, which maybe you guessed by now is a sponge. Your first glance of this might be a cotton ball or maybe a tampon, but this is a close-up of a tea bag. This is what the stem of a tomato looks like when it's zoomed in. And finally, this might be the scariest of them all, but never zoom into an ant's face. Well, okay, here you go. Pretty cool, right? This is what the microscopic world looks like, so hopefully this doesn't freak you out. So this is what the skin of a squid looks like. It's full of cells called chromatophores, which contain the pigment necessary to help them change colors. What you're looking at here is a laser beam shooting through soap bubbles. It's bending and refracting around the soap molecules, giving it a non-linear path. This is what a mosquito looks like laying eggs. This one clearly has obsessive compulsive disorder. Also, this is what stink bugs hatching from their eggs look like. Kinda cute. This is a neuron in a rat's brain trying to and successfully making a connection. This is a human neuron failing to do the same. These are the gears of a pocket watch ticking away time, and this is a microscopic aquatic worm that likes to wiggle in a very satisfying sequence. And finally, this close-up won an award last year and reveals how a baby zebrafish's nervous system develops. Pretty cool, right? This is what the microscopic world looks like, so hopefully this doesn't freak you out. So this is what mold looks like growing on food. Honestly, kind of pretty. Not so pretty is that this is what your American cheese looks like up close, with mites on it. Speaking of cheese lovers, these are the fat cells of a mouse dividing and multiplying. Too many food experiments. This is what gold looks like up close. No, I'm kidding, that's just spilled soy sauce that's just drying up. The salts begin to crystallize as the water evaporates away. This is the structural network inside of our cells. This footage in particular shows what cancer cells in the tissue looks like. This is a marine worm, and no, he's not playing an instrument. He's actually trying to swallow some food. His transparent body allows us to see directly into his organs. Here you'll see the larva of a Japanese mantis shrimp magnified about 6 times to get this close. And lastly, this is what a microorganism looks like eating another microorganism. Pretty cool, right? Here are some emojis that you're probably using wrong. So this emoji is commonly used to convey deep thinking or resting, but he's actually bowing and is used to show respect to somebody. This emoji, which people use to indicate sassiness, is actually just an information desk person. This lady isn't dancing or a ballerina, she's actually making an okay gesture. This disappointed face is actually meant to signify sweat rather than tears. You probably use this emoji when you're sad or sick, but it's actually the sleeping emoji, and that droplet is meant to be a snot bubble out of the nose. Similarly, this emoji isn't for when you're whining, it's also to show that you're tired. Some people use this when playfully conveying anger or frustration, but it's actually meant to be a face of triumph. This emoji isn't a peace sign, it's meant to signify victory. This high five emoji is actually somebody praying. And finally, this isn't chocolate ice cream. These are some products that have gotten smaller over time, so let's see who's deceiving you. A few years ago, Cadbury rounded the edges of its candy bar to reduce the overall size by about 10%. Toblerone reduced the weight of their candy bar in 2014 by adding more space between each piece, but reversed the decision 2 years later after public outcry. So shout out to them. Great Value paper towels dropped from 168 to 120 sheets, a 25% drop, and Bounty paper towels went from 165 to 147, but they justified it because they swear the sheets are more absorbent now. Even cereal isn't safe, with General Mills and Cocoa Pebbles reducing their boxes by about an ounce apiece. Wheat Thins is skimping with 28 fewer crackers in every box, and Chobani Flips, a morning staple for many people, reduced from 5.3 to 4.5 ounces. And lastly, if you're a coffee drinker who enjoys Folgers, they've downsized from 51 ounces to 43.5. But apparently there's no need to worry because they now use lighter beans. Here's what will happen over the next 60 seconds. So 110 people will die, of this 18 from starvation and 2 from car accidents. While that seems like a lot, consider that 180,000 farm animals will be killed. It's not all that bad though, because 250 babies will be born, although half of them into poverty. 80,000 people will make love, and 250,000 people are watching adult videos. Speaking of your body, in the next 60 seconds, your heart will beat 75 times, you're gonna blink 15 times, and the blood will circulate throughout your body 3 times. Don't start counting. Over the next minute, Amazon will make a whopping $800,000, and Elon Musk alone will make $30,000. 5 magnitude 2 earthquakes will occur and lightning will strike 2,000 times. 1,800 stars will explode, but 300,000 new stars will be created. You'll also have about 48 different thoughts, 3 of them bad, but all of this doesn't matter because you made it through this video unscathed. So good job.